Hello and welcome to this week's video. I'm Maria from Sew Through Time, and this week we're making a Victorian corset. Now this corset is a generic Victorian corset. It is mostly based off of a Symington corset that was made in 1875, but there are also examples of this exact same pattern been used in other corsets up until the 1890s. I'm not exactly sure how the original Symington corset was boned or how it was constructed, but I decided to work this as a single layer corset, so my silk and my coutil are worked as one layer, and then it is all sewn up together and boned afterwards, only in the places where I saw that it needed boning because of wrinkle. So I need here in the center bust a bone, and then it's a good thing that I did try it on because it's clearly way too small in the bust area, so I need to make this bust gore bigger here at the top bit, but the same width at the bottom where it is, so that it doesn't start collapsing on me. Other than that, really the only point where it's creasing and wrinkling is here. So here I'll want to put a bone in. Okay, now the boning is in place and I'm doing the reinforcements for the bust gores. I'm using a buttonhole twist silk. And I'm starting from the outer edge and stabbing it into the middle of the narrow point of the bust gore. And I try to stab in the same place every time at the top, and then make a fan at the bottom. Okay, and now to get that Victorian belly curve, we need to bend the bust a bit. So here at my waist point, between Now, things that I would do differently if I were to remake this. I'd make these front gores, these first ones, a little bit bigger. They kind of splay my bust a little bit, and I have a little bit of spillage up here, but mostly the shape from the side is pretty good, so not a huge issue. And upper hip area right here, I would give myself a little bit more room. So instead of like in the originals, most of them had a kind of fairly wide flat hip, I would give myself a more splayed upper part so that I could have more room at that high hip, so that I could reduce my waist a little bit more. Because like I've said before, corsets are never really about making anything actually smaller. It's about displacing flesh. And when you displace flesh from your waist to make it seem smaller, it has to go somewhere. Some of it goes up, but most of it, at least on my body, goes down. So it increases my high hip circumference quite a bit. And it also does come to your lower tummy, but that Victorian belly pooch that you can kind of see on me, not too much because, well, the spoon busk does provide quite a bit of support, and I'm not very large to begin with. But that is completely accurate, and it was historically considered beautiful. It was never about a flat stomach. The whole thing was all about the curves, both this way and this way. See you next time. Bye.